guys, so I wanted to talk about how to hit your protein goal when you are a vegetarian. I feel like I get this question all the time, especially from prospective clients who want to track macros. I think everyone thinks macros are just for people who eat meat, and they're really not. They really work for just about anyone. So I will give you guys some tips. These will work for pretty much anybody who's tracking macros, but I will focus on vegetarian because I actually kind of eat more of like a vegan diet with some meat and fish mixed in, but I don't eat eggs or dairy, and vegetarians at least have that going for them. So anyways, let me get to my tips. So tip 1 is plan ahead. So if you use MyFitnessPal or another tracking app, before you go to bed at night, sit down and plan your protein into your day. I mean, you can plan your whole day, but if anything, plan the protein and where you're going to eat it throughout the day. So whatever you're having for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and it doesn't need to be perfect, and of course it can change the next day, but at least you have something in place, and that's a good way to make sure that you're getting close to your protein goals. Number 2 is just make your portions bigger. I said this to a client the other day and she was like, oh yeah, that's so smart. But if you usually have 2 eggs for breakfast, have 3 eggs for breakfast. I mean, just even increasing your portion size by a little bit throughout the day can really add up. Number 3 is make sure all your meals and snacks have protein in them, because that's the thing that happens. If you know, your breakfast is a little skimpy on the protein and then you have a snack that doesn't have like any, by the end of the day, you're like, oh my gosh, I have 40 grams of protein to get in. What am I gonna do? So make sure you're dividing it I don't want to say equally, dividing it throughout the day, that you're having protein in all your meals and snacks. And along the same idea is to choose your snacks wisely. Make sure all your snacks have protein in them. And you could even take your lunch and have a smaller portion of it as a snack. So think about that. That's a good way to get protein in. And I love, RX bars on the go, nut butter packets, the Health Warrior muffins, things like that. Are good just sources of protein that you can have with you. Of course, vegan protein powder or plant-based protein powder is always good. Those are some of my go-to sources of protein. Oh, I also like those like dried chickpeas. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Those are really good as well. Number 4, always have protein on hand. Kind of goes to that last one, but even at home, to make sure you always have some sort of protein sources ready to go. Of course, you can have hard-boiled eggs. You can make a big pot of lentils at the beginning of the week just to have ready to go. Chickpeas, roasted chickpeas. I don't know if you've ever tried the salt and vinegar chickpeas. So good. Oshi Glows has a recipe on her site. So amazing. Love those. You can even do them in the Instant Pot, in the air fryer. Cheese is always a good one. Greek yogurt, just having some also ready to go. Hemp seeds you can throw in. If you're pescatarian, of course, you could do fish and seafood, things like that. I've been cooking fish in the air fryer lately, but you can also add collagen. There's a marine collagen that you can add to smoothies, coffee, oatmeal, things like that. And then my last tip is just looking at your protein goal. Is it too high? I think some of us have gotten a little bit crazy with these protein goals that you're eating, 1 times your body weight or more. Sometimes I think that's just too much, unless you're somebody who's working out, twice a day, training for some sort of endurance thing, semi-professional athlete. I just don't think we need all that protein, and I think really you could probably get away from 0.6 to 0.8 of your body weight and still be covered as far as protein goes. So if you're a vegetarian or vegan and you have this crazy high protein goal, what about just lowering it a little bit, making your life a little bit easier, and balancing the rest of the carbs between macros between carbs and fat. Just an idea, just reworking your macros a little bit, because sometimes I don't think we need to eat that much protein. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I tried to reel through them real quick because I know we're all busy, but I hope you found this helpful. And of course, if you have vegetarian tips for hitting your protein goals, let me know, because I'm always trying.